Qué Onda Magazine presenta.
Qué Onda Houston, we are pleased to welcome you to another exclusive interview. We are honored to be joined by a Republican candidate for the 2026 race for Harris County Judge, and his name is Marty Lancton. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. It's always good to be back with Qué Onda. You all do amazing work within the community, and it means a lot. So I'm very excited to be here.
And I know a lot of people know you because you've been involved in the community before. So, but for those who are meeting you for the first time, tell us a little bit about your background, what makes you you.
Well, I tell you, I am born and raised here in Houston. I love this city. I love this county. I have a son. He's 11 years old. And, you know, one of the things that really motivates me throughout my life growing up was to be a men for others, a life of service, to be a servant leader. And I was fortunate to go to Straight Jesuit, where the motto was a men for others. And so I knew at a very young age that I wanted to be in service, whatever it is that we do, as long as we're helping people, and also giving back to the community. So I'm so excited to be here in Harris County in Houston growing up and seeing all of the amazing transformations, and also some of the things that aren't working so well. And for the past decade, I have been the proud president of the Houston Professional Firefighters Association. I am honored, it is the honor of my lifetime, to lead 4,000 of the nation's bravest men and women in the Houston Fire Department, the third largest in the nation. And it is truly an honor of my life to stand up for the firefighters, paramedics, and first responders. And so I have dedicated my life to giving back. And so it's very, very rewarding when we see the community come together and support our first responders. And also, I started our charitable foundation, our 501c3. It's called the Houston Professional Firefighters Charitable Foundation. And that money, we've raised over $5 million in the past 7 years to go towards helping firefighters and their families during difficult times, line of duty deaths, if they're struggling with medical emergencies, with mental health issues, really trying to do everything we can to take care of the men and women that are out there taking care of us. So that's kind of generally my background.
Amazing, great to hear about your background. And now, why are you running for this Harris County Judge position?
You know, like with everything else in this world, I have seen the bad parts of what our county doesn't do right, and not taking care of families, making sure that they're safe. You know, the number one goal in our line of work is that we go out and we take care of those people. We make sure that we get to them on their worst day. And, you know, firefighters are unique. You've got to be 100% right 100% of the time to the people that we serve, and we should have a high standard for that. And about 2 years ago, we saw the battle that happened between the previous mayor and the firefighters. He sued the firefighters. We went all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. We won. We passed bills unanimously to protect our first responders. And then you saw Mayor John Whitmire come in, and within a very short amount of time, his focus was on public safety, and he helped fix the problem that he didn't even create. And we were able to end an 8-year-long battle thanks to the help of Mayor Whitmire, and now we're taking care of our firefighters and first responders. So I believe in challenges, meeting them head on. I believe that we have a lot of challenges here in the county, and I think the majority of people in Harris County believe it is headed in the absolute wrong direction. And what we have focused on are things that don't help families feel safe, that don't help their taxes go down, that don't help the roads and the infrastructure, and most importantly, don't help during times of disaster. It is far past time that we have a leader in the Harris County Judge that leads during a disaster, and we don't get in fights on national television with other elected officials. Our role is to instill trust in the people that we represent, and trust is earned. Trust is not something that is mandated. It is not something that you can force somebody to give. But we've lost that in county government. We have lost the focus of what it's supposed to be about. And because of that, you're seeing crime, public safety at an all-time high. You're seeing roads and bridges and infrastructure crumbling, and flood disaster mitigation not being built. And that's something that means something to me. And so when I was asked to run about 2 years ago with leaders in the Republican Party, I first really thought to myself, and I said, am I the right one? Is there somebody else that I believe we can support, that we can get out there? Because this is about helping the community and getting resources to the community. And, after much thought and prayer, that people continue to ask, and I said, okay, let's do it. But we have a mission, and we have to be effective. And in order to be effective, we have to establish relationships with people. We have to work with people, because Harris County residents deserve for their county to work for them, not against them. And what we've seen in the polarizing world of politics is that we see this county judge who is always getting in a fight, talking about issues that has nothing to do with the role of county government. And really who suffers are the people that we're supposed to lead and represent. And so I'm so very proud that our governor, Greg Abbott, has endorsed me in my campaign for Harris County Judge, so that we can get Harris County moving in the right direction, so that we can focus on reducing crime, increasing public safety, so families and their children feel safe when they go outside, and we don't have a county that some people are being taken care of, some people aren't. We don't have crumbling roads and infrastructure. And really what's passionate for me as I've grown up dealing with disasters and seeing what happens, I've seen the best in who we are when times of disaster. We come together. We let all those things that divide us go away, and we come and we work together. That's what Harris County is about. And that's what Harris County is going to be again when I become the next Harris County judge. We want to lead with integrity. We want to lead with transparency. And we want to be able to do the right thing for the taxpayers. And so relationships matter. And relationships mean that you have the trust of the people that can provide and help provide resources to our county. If you remember, previous to this land commissioner, our Texas land commissioner, her name is Dr. Dawn Buckingham. She is truly amazing at getting out into the communities and making sure that the federal dollars that are flowing through the GLO, the Government Land Office, get to where they're supposed to go. Before she took office, after Hurricane Harvey, we didn't get any money for flood mitigation after Hurricane Harvey, and that was unacceptable. Flooding doesn't care if you're Republican or Democrat. It affects everybody, and it was unacceptable. When Dr. Dawn Buckingham was elected, she appointed me to her transition team, and the number one focus and goal for me was to let the land commissioner know that we've got to get into Harris County, and we have got to get the resources to where they need to go. Within 90 days, thank you to Dr. Dawn Buckingham's leadership, she got $800 million in flood mitigation dollars to Harris County. That is what this role is supposed to be about, getting the resources to the county, to the people that need it the most. And I'm so proud that the land commissioner, Dr. Dawn Buckingham, has endorsed my campaign. And these are the type of relationships that we have to build upon to help the people that we were elected to serve.
Thank you for talking about those relationships, those partnerships that you've built over the years, and those that you look up to. I know I can hear a little bit about those priorities that you have: flooding, infrastructure, anything that you want to achieve in those 30 days. And let's think about a little bit about long term, maybe 6 months or first year that you're looking to just get in.
The first thing that we have to do is we have to go in and we truly have to root out any conflicts of interest and corruption. We cannot have a county government that is not accessible and transparent to the public. If you pay taxes, you should know where they go. So on day one, we're going to audit every single department. We're going to focus on the core services of what Harris County should be about. The number one priority of anybody in county government is public safety. It is to ensure that our families are safe, and we have to invest. The sheriff's office is about 1,000 officers short of what they need to be. We need to be standing with our law enforcement. We need to be sending a direct message that if it is not the role of county government, we should not be talking about polarizing issues. We should be talking about how do we get the resources to the people that need it the most. So not only are we going to go in and take a look, a very honest approach, but we're going to be honest with the taxpayer about what it is that is in the budget and what it is that that money is going for. As somebody that was up at the legislature, and my relationships with people in the legislature have allowed me to understand not only how the bill process works, but I've passed bills unanimously, working with everybody to ensure we can get the resources needed here in Harris County. And with that, you have to be able to know what is critically important. You have to be able to know where your tax dollars are going. And so this past legislative session, Senator Paul Betancourt and Representative Mano Diala had a bill that would have provided transparency to the excess funding of HECTRA, which is the Harris County Toll Road Authority. That's the kind of stuff that should be simple, but unfortunately it's not. There's about a $300 to $400 million budget surplus every single year. And we have to be able to tell the taxpayers where their money is going, how it is affecting them in their lives, and what projects we are getting done. And right now, nobody knows. And that's a problem for me. And that's what we're going to focus on almost immediately. If it doesn't have to do with the core critical services that Harris County should be doing, everything is on the table.
Amazing. Any goals for the 6 months and first year?
Yeah, 6 months to first year is to show a seismic shift in the ability for people to look at Harris County and realize that they're working for them. They're not working for themselves. There's not own self-interest. That's the biggest part of what I've learned in taking on a corrupt administration for 8 years. When you start asking questions and when you start going through processes and you start realizing that these things don't add up, it is amazing to watch what people will do to attack you, to try to get you to not pay attention. I am battle tested. I am forged in fire, and I can tell you that I have gone up against some of the most talented and not a good way individuals that have tried to allow the train to keep rolling down the tracks in the same way. And I said that that's not acceptable. I'm guided by very, very simple belief. If it's right, it's right. It's wrong, it's wrong. And sometimes life is not about absolutes. If you believe that something is well intended and somewhere along the way you need to be able to move because it didn't go quite the way you think, it's okay to say we have to pivot, we have to move just a little bit. What we've gotten to in politics these days is that everybody on every side absolutely is right 100% of the time, and that's not the way you get things done. That's not the way that working together with people gets things done. Because when you're a Harris County judge, you're a Harris County judge for everybody, even the people that didn't vote for you. So we have to instill respect and trust back into that office. We have to get off the front page. We have to start working with the mayors within the county, especially the largest city in the county. Mayor John Whitmire has done a remarkable job at rooting out the conflicts of interest and the corruption and being honest and saying we can't be accountable to the taxpayer if we're not being honest. That's exactly what we're going to do in our administration. And by the time a year comes about and we're putting together a budget, it is going to be a budget that is transparent. It is going to be a budget that is accountable to the taxpayers.
Anything that you've seen from the previous, budget cycle that happened, and then the whole approving it was a little bit tense? Anything that you see that you want to improve on from that specific, tension and moments of disagreement, or anything concrete that you have in steps to make that a smoother transition?
Well, as somebody that has gone through and dealt with a $7 billion budget in the city of Houston, as somebody that has dealt with complex problems, somebody that took on a corrupt administration and won, and took care of the firefighters and had a $1.5 billion settlement, everybody told me that it couldn't be done. Why? Because people had ignored it for so long, and people said, you're going up against the establishment. And my response to them is, do the right thing, and I believe the right thing in the end always matters. And so what I've learned in these budgeting processes is, number one, get the tone down. This is about services that we are obligated constitutionally to provide Harris County residents, and that we have an obligation to be leaders within the community and be honest about where we are and what it is that we need to be doing.
Amazing. Thank you for providing that insight. And what makes you different from your opponents? I know you're in the Republican Party, and the judge in office right now is Democrat, so you're being a different party that's running with a bunch of Democratic nominees and that precedent that it tends to be Democrat. What makes you different from everybody else?
Well, listen, I believe that, first of all, I believe that the conservative values, Republican, is about looking out for your tax dollars, about being honest. And I've done that in my role as the president of the Firefighters. I took on a corrupt Democrat administration that was utilizing tax dollars to take care of their friends and their family and not taking care of the people we're supposed to. And what makes me unique is that I have gone up against the machine. I understand the relationships both on the regional level and the state level and the federal level about what that means to our county, what it means to the resources we can get. But right now, if you have a county government that is always arguing with state government about things that have no role, nothing to do with the role of county government, the real things are not getting done. And everybody has now kind of got their heads spinning and figuring out why it is that we can't get safe roads, safe neighborhoods, the infrastructure fixed, roads fixed. Why can't we reduce the crime? Why can't we feel safe? And that's because everybody's focusing on things that have nothing to do with their role. Listen, I have seen it, this page in the book, in the world of politics, so many times. If somebody asks you about your job and what you're responsible for, and instead I talk about issues that have nothing to do with my job, and I start attacking other people, that is indicative of the problem that we've had in government, which is why people have an issue with trust. So we have to look at things from a perspective of who is going to be able to get the resources to Harris County, to the people that need it the most. When you have a relationship with statewide officials who have the allocation of the dollars, both from state and federal, you now have trust. You can work with the mayors within the county, get them into the room, because the only thing that matters to me is being effective in showing, not telling, showing the residents of Harris County how your government can work.
Amazing. And I know before you touched on flooding and infrastructure. I know that's a big concern for a lot of Harris County residents given the geographic position that we're in and the natural disasters. Any vision that you have for tackling that challenge?
Yeah, we first have to start being honest and start playing politics with people's lives. I 26-year veteran of the U.S. Fire Service, and I can tell you if you play politics with people's lives, people die. And that's not going to happen under my administration. What we're seeing, for example, is you have places like Kingwood, who lost 15 people died during Hurricane Harvey. But yet the allocation from Harris County Commissioner's Court and from others was nothing. Why? Because they're playing politics with who it is, where geographically it is. And we know in Houston and Harris County, it floods and we have natural disasters. We have to be prepared for those. And it doesn't just mean at the time of the disaster. It means working in advance. And that's why it's so critical to have somebody with management experience when it comes to disasters, to bring everybody to the table so that we're ready, we're prepared, and we take care of the people during these natural disasters. But afterwards, we ensure that the dollars go where they're supposed to go. Because you have to call a ball, and a strike. And at the end of the day, we see projects not being done. We see bond money that's not being allocated. Why? That's called bureaucracy. That's called it's not helping the people who need it the most. That ends under my administration. We have a job to do, and that job is to make sure that we're being honest and we take care of the people that are the most vulnerable.
Amazing. And if you don't mind, I would like you to elaborate a little bit more on this whole auditing process. Yep. Are you worried that this is gonna, I know you're talking about tensions and conflict. Are you worried that this is gonna bring more tension into if you're auditing departments and
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Nobody should have a problem with that. What I can tell you is that when people have an issue with that, it's usually because they're worried. But at the end of the day, from day one of my administration, we are not operating from the normal mindset. We are not going to be the go along to get along. But it takes somebody that understands how the game is played, if you will. When you're talking about a nearly $3 billion budget in the county, talk about a $7 billion budget in the city. And I've heard it all. I've heard it all before, and I've been told many, many times over the years that we're broke. We're not broke. The problem is that they spend money on things that they want to do, on projects that they want to do, that have no role in either city or county government. And you have to eliminate that. I believe when you start doing that, not only can you have more projects, more infrastructure, but now you have the trust of the community if you need something. That is the role, singularly, of Harris County Judge, is to make sure that we are spending your tax dollars where they're supposed to go.
Thank you. Thank you for elaborating. And I know we are a Hispanic audience,
yes,
and a lot of people care about Latino representation. Are you thinking of ways to increase Latino representation, or making sure that what the government is doing is presented to that Hispanic community, Spanish-speaking communities, in a good way?
Yes. What I can tell you is my father, many people don't know this, but my father grew up in Mexico City for a number of years when he was growing up as a child. And so Mexico, in and of itself, Mexico City, is very near and dear to my heart. And I may look like I'm not, but I think I was actually born Latino. My friends during legislative session, we always joke, it's not, my full name is Patrick Martin, it's Patricio Martin. So listen, the culture, the environment, the people, and the Latino community is absolutely energizing. It is amazing. And the representation, because this is a majority Hispanic county. And I can tell you this, is that everybody has a seat at the table under my administration, and I'm not afraid to call a ball and a strike. But I absolutely believe that it's something that we have to focus on. It's something that is real, because Harris County needs to be able to take care of the people, and not all of us look alike. And that's the beauty of Harris County. I grew up where everybody looked different. And to me, that was normal. I embrace the differences because those are powerful and impactful to me. So the Latino community is very, very close to my heart. And I can tell you it's going to be a great time coming into office, but seeing the change that we can do.
Thank you. And we're getting ready to wrap up. Anything you want to say to our community about your campaign that maybe we didn't touch on?
Yeah. One of the things that I'm going to be talking about, I have been talking about, I'm the only candidate that will be talking about it, is jobs. And why? Because we spent about 3 decades telling people that the only way that we can really achieve anything is to go to college, get a university degree, and that's great for some people. But what we stopped doing, we stopped investing, and we stopped telling people about good labor, blue-collar labor jobs in the skilled professions. These jobs pay a lot of money, and there are programs right now that already exist that get people into apprenticeship programs to where they don't have debt. They're bringing their families to Harris County. They're investing in the community, and we're having businesses come in, and we need blue-collar labor jobs. We need the people to fill them. We don't have enough people to fill them. And right now, at the Port of Houston, if you go out there and you ask anybody, we have so much need for skilled labor, but we don't have enough people. So we have to be talking about how we can get families good paying jobs, good trade jobs, and be able to bring businesses here, and everybody wins. You become a part of the most amazing county in the U.S.
I'm glad you have that in mind, because jobs, that's a basic need, So thank you for mentioning
You're welcome.
that.
Yes.
And please remind us about those dates I know the primaries are coming up, and then November.
Early voting in the primary starts on February 18th. The primary date is March 3rd. And what we're asking everybody to do is to get out there, call your friends. It's going to take all of us. We're all in this together, and we're going to make Harris County safer. We're going to make Harris County better, and we need everybody to get out there and vote.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your insights on this important race, the race for Harris County Judge happening this year. And before we close out, a special message for our Hispanic Qué Onda Magazine audience.
Well, I can tell you this, for years and years, you all have been there and seen what we have gone through as firefighters and first responders and being out in the community. And I can tell you it is invaluable to have Qué Onda Magazine always in the street, within the community, telling the stories that matter. And that, to me, is the most critical component of a good community. We couldn't have done it without Qué Onda. I love not only the time and attention that you all spend, but thank you, Qué Onda, for being here. Thank you for having me. I'm Marty Lancton. I'm running for Harris County Judge, and I ask for your support.
Thank you so much, Marty Lancton.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming in and joining us. This has been another exclusive interview with Marty Lancton, who's running for Harris County Judge this year. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hasta luego.
Qué Onda Magazine presentó